So ladies and gentlemen, we have this panel which is going to speak about success stories from Tier 2 India.
First of all, I would like to thank all the panel members for joining us today for this excellent panel discussion that we'll be having now. And I also thank you for being open to discuss and tell your stories, success stories, so that people over here, a lot of developers here that we have from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities can have a lot of takeaways from this session. So yeah, thank you so much again for joining us here. So sir, Tier 2 cities are often described as easier market, but everyone on this stage knows when they come, knows they come from their own, where they come from their own complexities. Today we'll explore what really changes when you build in emerging cities versus metros, across capital, people, product, execution, and mindset. So to start the session with I would like to first start with Hasib sir. Tier 2 cities are often seen as easier market and lower land cost and faster execution. When you started building in Calicut, what early realities changed those assumptions? And what can developers from other Tier 2 cities and Tier 3 cities can learn from that?
Good morning. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for having me over here. What really was different from what I assumed was you asked two questions. One is about land and one is about the execution. The land part will always remain a challenge. It was a challenge then and it will always remain a challenge. But my assumption on land didn't go wrong because we were already our family was already in the real estate sector. So assumption on land was not a problem. The assumption where I went wrong was the assumption on the execution part. I basically thought, okay, you have a good architect who will draw a plan for you. You get the approval from the corporation, you construct, and you sell, you construct, and you do the legal formalities and hand over the apartment to the end user. This part was easy for me because we had done our homework, so I thought that was basically, these are the only things which are involved in the whole process. Selling was not a problem, and let me tell you, when I started my first project, the sale price in Calicut, I sold at rupees 300 per square feet. That was my sale price. And then where the assumptions went wrong was primarily when the legal implications of any project. I was not, okay, as I said, I was only assuming that we have to get the approval from the corporation or the municipal body. But I never assumed that, okay, in order to dig a bore well, you have to get a permission from the geology department. I never knew that there was something called a sales tax and service tax, both applicable. I never knew that we had to work so hard to get an electricity connection for the apartment. I never assumed that I would take so much time to get in order to get a water connection to the complex. I never assumed that we have to go to the pollution control board to take up matters regarding sewage waste and even whatever waste was being generated there. I never assumed that I would have to take so much time, in order to get the occupancy certificate from the local self-government. I never assumed that I would have to meet the, so-called pseudo-environmentalists who were working around the project. At that time, there were a lot of people, who were against this apartment culture. So these assumptions went wrong. I went back to the table, studied all the legal implications, and from then on, from that project onwards, we never even moved a stone at the site without getting all these legal clearances in place, and also learned very, very hard. Okay, I never even expected that I had to go to the police station, get police protection, go to the court, and then only do these projects. So that was a big learning experience for me. Follow all the legal compliances, and then only turn a stone in your project site. That was the major learning which I had at that point in time.
I think that's a great learning because fortunately or unfortunately, even today, we stand at the same place. In fact, now we have more departments coming up, something like mining department, where even if you just have to go do an excavation for your property, you have to go and apply another legal compliance for the same.
There are only 2 or 3 departments in Kerala which we don't have to approach. One is the education department, one is the excise department, and there is only one more department which we don't have to approach. We have to approach all the other ministries in the government in order to do a project. That was then and even now.
Hopefully in the coming days, we can soon see a single window. So I think that's all we are all hoping for. I think my next question, probably related again to the government, would be to Sanjog sir. In Karnataka, the government is now trying to push people to go beyond Bangalore. And they have come up with a ITBT policy where they're pushing that the tier 2 cities, the IT to go into the tier 2 cities or tier 3 cities. And they're giving them a huge kind of subsidies so that they can decentralize the metro cities here. Do you think any such policies are really happening on ground, and what are the ground realities? Do they really help in such a market, a real estate market in tier 2, tier 3 cities develop further better?
Hello everyone, and thank you very much. The question is right on the pinch point. The basic thing is, it's a high time. The time has come that they have to come to the tier 2 city and tier 3 city. As yesterday we had a discussion, Bangalore has reached its highest congestion level and is the second congested city. If they don't come, I think so we all will have a big pain. People going to their offices in 2 hours traveling, 4 hours they are traveling, 8 hours they are working. We all are ready at the tier 2 and tier 3 city to serve them, and we have got all infrastructure now. Airports have come everywhere. Even we have got malls, we have got other nice living area, we have got green zones. So it's high time that the government, the ITBT industry and the real estate, they have to club together and come down to tier 2 and tier 3 city. Because there's no another alternative for it. We produce somewhere around 20,000 engineers to 25,000 engineers, and we are forcibly making them expats. If all these engineers stay in their own home, the cost of entire real ITBT company can come down. I don't know what is holding them back. The government's right policy and right push. I think so Mysore has come up now somewhat. And another cities like Gulbarga, Hubli, Belgaum, we are all ready. Only problem is the policy making and the hitch key, it's not a metro. I think so if these two things comes out of the mind, we are like a suburban of Bangalore now, what we are providing in Gulbarga. People come and then get astonished, अरे ये सब कुछ है यहाँ पे, आपके यहाँ भी cinema है, आपके यहाँ भी mall है. But they don't know that we have already done this 10 years back, 15 years back. So we are all ready. I think the right policy making has to come now.
Thank you so much, sir. My next question would be to Jagan Mohan, sir. Every tier 2 city has a trigger point. It could be an education hub that you have in your city. It could be a medical hub in your city. We understand that the city that you come from, you have a large education hub. What would your advice be to a developer, how to identify such early trigger points in any city when they are going and doing a development or where they are going and doing a launch of a project? How do you identify which region of the city is growing faster and what are the trigger points?
Good afternoon all. Thank you for having me in the panel. And as we cannot copy a style of a metro city in a two-tier city for education, as two-tier cities have different requirements and different demands and different educational institutions which and different health facilities and all the things which are on par with nowadays, which are on par with metro cities and quite lesser in affordability, and they're more affordable. And as a developer, we see a two-tier or three-tier cities are have to be encouraged for development of IT sectors as delineated by my co-panelist. To reduce demand of the metros and all the things, government has to anchor some facility declarations like exemptions of taxes and all the things in two-tier and three-tier cities to reduce the load onto the metro cities, as all the metro cities are overloaded with lack of infrastructure facilities. Many of the cities in India are congested, and hardly we travel 5 kilometers an hour in a traffic time. There is a need from the interventions of the government also to reduce that load. And as developers also, we can drive the governments to acknowledge this gap and to enhance the living quality style of the people. As cities doesn't have that quality style of quality of life compared to the 2-tier and 3-tier cities in terms of air quality and water quality and time they consume on the roads also. Thank you.
I think the last point that you told about AQI, air quality especially, I think all the tier 1 cities are now afraid of the same, where we see the AQIs are so high that the cities are not even left any more livable. I think that's where it really brings probably a larger thought process of people also looking at tier 2 cities and seeing how those areas can become the next traction point for them to live in and work from. So yeah, thank you. My next question would be to Mr. Ilango, sir. Coimbatore buyers are known to be practical, value conscious, and long-term thinkers. How have buyers in tier 2 cities like Coimbatore evolved, and how does their decision making differ from metro buyers today?
Thank you for having us here. I think everyone knows Tamil Nadu's tier 2 market is very matured. If you take in, all our tier 2 cities are having an educational background, very high educational background. During the early 2000s, when we saw the IT boom come in, a lot of our people from our market actually started going for jobs at Bangalore and Hyderabad and Chennai. So we had a lot of influx of crowd pushing out of our city. So what we see at tier cities in Tamil Nadu is that the buyers are much more informed, because people who are buying in Coimbatore right now are people who are at Bangalore or at Chennai or in Hyderabad. These buyers are coming in, and actually people who are native of locals are coming in and buying. So we see a lot of high demand. A small example is that projects at Bangalore actually are very large scale projects. But tier 2 cities, our projects are anywhere between 2 lakh or 3 lakh square foot. The demand of the buyer right now is that they want to have all the amenities. Like everyone puts an advertisement saying that 125 plus amenities in a large scale city, in a metro city. But we are not able to put that 125 amenities in a smaller project. The challenge we are facing right now is that how do we put in this 125 amenities into a small project? Like when you do a 2 lakh square feet development, you're going to give only 10,000 square feet as your clubhouse space. So we have actually evolved, actually becoming more mature, where we are actually trying to educate our buyer what is the real cost of an amenity. The second I would like to say is that during early 2000s, when a buyer used to buy an apartment, they used to look at amenities and buy. They wanted swimming pool, they wanted gym and everything, but they never knew about the cost, running cost. When once an apartment is handed over to them, and when you say 2 rupees per square foot, 3 rupees a square foot, they started challenging on why do we need to pay so much. So the market right now is actually becoming more mature. We are trying to actually educate the buyer on what is the cost of living in an apartment. This is one pattern. Apart from the buyer, actually, one more thing what I would like to add on is the pattern change in landowner pattern. The landowners are actually becoming more mature. Their demands are becoming different. Today, with the implication of GST in and RERA in, the landowners are more informed. They are asking us higher questions of what implication needs to be there. Because today, when you do a joint venture project, at the time of CC, you need to pay GST. That's a cost which comes in. So it's a huge cost which comes into the developer, because landowners don't have the kind of fund to pay. So it's all about representation and taking things forward.
I think that's a very good point, because nowadays what we see that people from tier 2 cities and tier 3 cities are not just price conscious, but are also conscious at the same time what are the kind of amenities that they're going to have. Earlier, we used to see that probably price was the largest selling point that you would have in your project, but now people even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities are largely also looking at what are they also getting out of that entire project, what are the kind of clubhouse that is getting developed. So yeah, so that is something really nice.
But the clubhouse needs to be very strict. That's a problem. We can't give a lavish clubhouse like a 3-acre clubhouse, 4-acre clubhouse like what a metro is giving. We have to look at a smaller clubhouse, but we need to fill in all the amenities. That becomes a challenge. That's a basic challenge what we are facing right now.
Yes. My next question would be to Umesh sir. So your background spans the Indian Navy, PSU, public sector services. What value or disciplines from those years most strongly shape how you execute projects and build them today? Also, you've served in the industry in PSUs and other industries for 56 years, and then you've got into the real estate. What brought you into the real estate industry at that point of time?
First, I would like to thank the AP chapter of CREDAI for proposing my name to be a part of this panel discussion, and also the SouthCon for accepting that. This place reminds me, and I feel very nostalgic, because in the same hall, about 18 years back, as Commissioner Service Tax here, I was advising the builders, please pay the service tax and how it should be paid. Now I am getting back the same coin of getting the notices from the same department. Well, in this industry, I'm the last man, so I can take a little bit more time to give this thing. This is an industry where it is never late to enter. The best example is at the age of 56, from the role of a pensioner, I have become a real estate man. It's open for anybody at any time, anywhere. I have done in Telangana, I have done in Andhra Pradesh. In fact, I signed, but I could not take it up in Karnataka. I trying in Chennai. A lot of people from Karnataka are coming to Andhra Pradesh, and a lot of people from Andhra Pradesh. So it is a very permeable society and a permeable industry where people can come from one place to the other. Second, the point what you asked, what are this thing? I feel as a builder, if we are first disciplined in all aspects in our life, that would translate into the execution of the projects. And once you are disciplined, your entire team would be disciplined. Third, you need a very dedicated team because, as my friend has mentioned, almost all the departments are covering except two departments, that is education and excise. Education part, the customers are educating us, that's why the education department has not touched us so far. And excise, we are already doing a lot of exercise in doing this business, so the excise department also has spared us. My fundamental principle, what we have followed, at least in Lansam, is we are all equal with our employees. We give lunch. Why I am telling is I am not looking for any appreciation from all of you, but all of you are youngsters. If these principles, if they are useful for you in building up a better organization, it is good and will make me feel happy. We serve lunch, the same lunch what my attender eats, my driver eats, on the same table, same lunch. I eat, my son eats, my son-in-law eats, my daughter eats. We believe in carrying the team with us, which has helped us to grow this organization very fast. We are one of the organizations which has grown very fast. We have delivered about 3,000 apartments. And we are building another 4,000 plus apartments, 1,000 villas. We are running a 5-star luxury resort as a managing partner. And I am building another 7 luxury hotels, 5-star hotels by Lansam. All this is possible only because of the employees. Carry your employees with you is my advice, and this is what I have followed. The second part, delivery of the projects in time is going to make a great impact for all of us. If we deliver the projects in time, the customers will believe, especially in Tier 2 cities, most of the customers would know the builder personally. That's why if you see small towns, there are very few big brands operating in small towns. Because I'm fairly familiar because I worked in almost the entire South India. I worked in Coimbatore. Very few builders are there. You go to Warangal, where my son studied this thing. Maybe 10 to 12 builders may be there. And every customer will be known to the builder, and builder will know the customer. And they expect a personal rapport to be maintained when they come. It is not the reduction of the price or the delivery delays slightly here and there, but a proper communication is what these builders will expect from all of us, and which would make a lot of difference while moving forward in a tied to this thing. As Lansam, we have built the tallest building in Andhra Pradesh till now, which we started about 12 years back. Even today, this is the tallest building of 36 floors, and delivered in time by introducing shear wall technology using the formwork of not KNS. KNS we have used in some other projects, but at that time we got it from Korea and delivered in time. A good team, a dedication and a commitment to deliver in time would make a lot of difference in Tier 2 cities, because customers are very, very careful, very, very watchful. They are not investors. Majority of them buy to stay there. So we keep that in mind. You will be very successful in Tier 2 city.
Thank you so much, sir. We understand that in a very short period of time, the amount of momentum of projects that you guys are doing, not just in AP but across South India, is humongous. If today you were to give 3 takeaways for our people over here as a part of a growing journey in theirs, what are the 3 key things that they should consider as a growing firm?
There was a poor man who wanted to have a big house and play with his grandchild. And God appeared and asked him, I'll give you only one boon. Please choose what you want. He gave a reply, I wanted to play with my grandson in my palace, keeping him in a tray made of gold studded with diamonds. So all the aspects what he missed out, he got from the God in one request. Same way, what I would suggest is the 3 aspects, if we keep in mind for the next generation, because I am almost down the hill, I am 69, and I have done enough and I have enough projects on hand. It's the next generation to take it forward, both in the real estate, commercial, residential, commercial, villas, hotels, making products. Our products are always unique, iconic. If you see, if you want to know more, kindly go through our website. Make the commitment to the customer with conviction. Only if you are convinced what we are committing is correct, make it with this thing. And let the communication be transparent. Let us be very clear. If it is not possible, please tell them it is not possible. Because we are going to get stuck with RERA. All of us are going to get stuck with RERA, and we are going to be confronted. Kindly don't think I am trying to tell the negative thing. We are going to be confronted with ambulance chasing advocates who would be assisting the clients, customers, with each and every clauses what we commit in the RERA application or the municipal application, etc. So be transparent and very clear in the communication. And let our focus be client or customer centric. Ultimately, I feel what we are, I'm not, at least I feel, my personal thing, I don't want to comment about others. The shirt I wear, the food I eat, the salary I pay to my employees, the life my employees lead, is all the money generated by the customers. So be customer centric. If you follow these 3 principles, I don't think success will be away. Sky is the limit for us to grow.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we all here can resonate to what you just said. Thank you so much. Hasib, sir, for every successful organization, you need a team, a successful team as well with it. We ourselves are facing that challenge, large challenge in a metro city like Bangalore, to have a good team and to retain them for long term. Can you tell us what have been your part of challenges in building a team in a tier 2 city like Calicut, and how well do you retain them?
Like sir said, having a good team is very, very important. Like the customer, our employees also in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, they think differently. They want to be attached to the organization. There are so many factors with which we can hold back your team or retain your team. There are so many factors, but I would say the most important factor or the most important thing is you have to prove to the team, you have to prove to the organization that you have certain value systems, that you're ethical and you're trustworthy. And over a period of time, you would have gained the confidence of the workforce, the employees, you would have created a reputation in the market, and you would have become a successful story to a large extent. Having said all those things, again I'm repeating, have strong value systems, and it should come from bottom down, not from, you don't expect it to come from the down. You have those value systems, you communicate those value systems, you have those ethics in place, and the trust will come from the employee side also. So that is the most important thing. Create a value system which is coming from bottom up and not from down, from up to the bottom. Yeah.
Very rightly said. Sanjog sir, in a successful company like yours, for your entire journey in Gulbarga, what has been your most key thing while you're doing a project? Has it been a pricing, or has it been a differentiation in the project, or has it been the trust that you've built into the customers in the local city there?
Basically, my firm, we always had a out-of-box thinking, or we were the first person to bring something new to Gulbarga. We had a gold souk market for Gulbarga, where 250 gold fraternity would come under single roof. We tried to have the first mall of Gulbarga. Then we tried for the first affordable housing where 800 families would stay in single, and which we pitched at 9 lakh rupees rate with a subsidy of 3 lakh. The buyer used to get a house at 6 lakhs. So we all tried all different. We bought the first gated villa project for Gulbarga, and we got the first amenity built layout for Gulbarga. So what we did was always the new thing. We always I cannot say that I was always successful in every part. Somewhere we went wrong also. But then doing new things, getting new ideas and out-of-box thinking. I think so that all helps you. You have to analyze the market, try to do different from your competitors, or get some ideas from bigger player like here who guides you. You get some suggestions. Credai had helped me every time. I go to different countries and I get some idea. I try to pitch them in a small city like Kalaburagi. And I think so I was pretty successful in giving those things. I built the first apartment where a person can open lock of the central apartment from sitting in his house. So I tried to do new things. People tried it and they appreciate it. And that helped me in selling my product and differentiating me from all other people.
Thank you so much, sir. My question to Ilango, sir. In a city like Coimbatore, how do you balance innovation with risk? Because at times you think that you're overdoing something for a city, a tier 2 city or a tier 3 city, where you don't know what is the kind of acceptance that people will have. Will they really appreciate what you're giving them, or are you overdoing it? So how do you balance between the innovation and risk?
I think for a tier 2 city, always innovation comes with a risk, because innovation is always cost driven. When you want to innovate something, there's always a higher cost which comes in, where we have to pass on to a buyer. But unfortunately, buyers don't accept this. So innovation is always in a very limited level. But we see a lot of developers in Coimbatore especially, where people are innovating with precast technology, where speed of projects are becoming faster. So this kind of innovation is happening in. But just to give one small example from our company is that I'm a second generation developer. We have been working with one single landowner for 36 years. So it's been 3 generations I've been with the same landowner I've been working in. I've seen 3 generations. From my father to father started it, and right now we have seen third generation. The trust we build with landowners is very important, because they are like partners to us. More than partners, they become family members to us. Because right now land cost is very high, we are not able to afford to buy a land. So we need to make sure that the trust, we need to build trust through transparency. Let it be with the landowner or with the our staffs, or let it be the buyer also. We need to build trust through transparency. That'll be my biggest thing which we tell.
Thank you so much, sir. My question to Jagan, sir. If a developer were entering a tier 2 city today, what is one lesson they must remember to succeed?
Yeah, we should analyze and we should respect the market condition, and we should study what demand is, and without any demand analysis and all of any city, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, will will end with huge inventory with us, and this a good market analysis, what to build and where to build, is most important in tier 2 and 3 cities. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think the last question from my side. So, Umesh, sir, you've been doing projects in Vizag and Hyderabad. While shifting between the two cities, how different do you analyze the markets while you're doing a project in Vizag versus while you're doing a project in Hyderabad? And what are the challenges, different challenges that you face while comparing the two cities? Is it the execution? Is it the sales? Or is it the land itself?
The first point, in Vishakhapatnam, customers expect a personal relationship with the builder. They want the builder to be known personally, interact. So that demands a lot of time, management, and meeting them and interacting with them. Whereas in all the capitals, the builders hardly meet the customers. It happens on its own. We don't even, I sold 800 apartments in one project in Hyderabad called El Dorado. I hardly met any customer. In fact, if I go in the lift, I have to introduce to them that I am the builder. So that difference, if you don't maintain, take care of the customers and interact with the customers in smaller cities, you will not be able to sell. That is one. In terms of execution, approval related this thing, same way, while they will not harass, but the approving authorities expect you to interact with them in smaller cities. Whether it is the municipal authorities or the sales tax authorities, they expect you to meet. That is because a small place, they want to know you. That creates a lot of demand on time for a builder who is operating in two places. In terms of execution, you are much better off in larger cities because you have better manpower, better contractors, whereas in smaller places, getting a good contractor and good workforce is difficult. But for this, I don't find much of difference. Ultimately, as my friend has mentioned, you have to be truthful to the customer, fair to the customer. Take your pound of flesh for your this thing, but be fair and truthful to the customer. Then it would be good. I hope I have clarified, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Probably we can open up for one or two questions from the audience if we have any. Any questions from the audience that we have? Okay. So with that, we'll conclude our panel discussion. A small learning that we all have from here. What clearly emerges from this conversation is that Tier 2, Tier 3 city success is not about cheaper land or faster approvals. It's about respecting local markets. Every panelist highlighted that trust travels faster than marketing, execution, discipline matters more than scale, and product decision must be rooted in real buyer behavior, not brochure aspiration. We have heard how deeply local credibility, conservative capital structuring, operational efficiency, and people-led leadership are critical differentiators. Tier 2 buyers are value conscious but not quality agnostic. And while demand cycles may be volatile, developers who build patiently, build on time, and stay grounded tend to build brands that last. Perhaps the biggest takeaway is this: Tier 2 cities don't reward arrogance, they reward humility, consistency, and long-term thinking. And that's a lesson every Tier 1 developer must internalize when they step into these markets. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. May we hear it for this panel that shared success stories from those cities that they are operating in, just tier 2 by name, but nothing really very different from the value systems that they deeply espouse. Thank you once again.